It's time.
Hey, what's up, guys? I am here with
Isla Erickson.
Isla Erickson. You are going to be competing at our Deep Waters Invitational, correct?
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
you excited about it?
So stoked.
Excellent. Okay. So here's the thing. We're getting to know a little bit about everybody competing in our tournament. So we like to start off by asking, where did your jiu-jitsu journey start?
Oh boy, that's a great question, but I feel like okay.
We got it. We got time. It's okay.
Well, just was like into watching UFC, and then I walked into a McDojo to do the bag, and then but I was kind of always thought jiu-jitsu was cool, and I saw some people, and so I just I'll try it out, and then I did, and then I liked it a lot right away.
So you knew right away this was going to be something you wanted to do continuously?
Yeah, totally. I mean, a month in, I was telling my coach I wanted to compete and stuff like that. I was really excited about it. So yeah.
So this is a question I like to ask people. So take a second to really think about it. But when was the moment you knew you were hooked to jiu-jitsu? Because it happens differently for everybody. And you said it happened right away. So do you happen to remember specifically when that moment happened for you?
I definitely remember a day when there was another girl that I trained with, and she hadn't been training very long, but I just remember there was a day that it flipped that I was beating her, and I was really stoked on it because we'd been it was kind of the first day that I felt pretty dominant, and then my coach came to pulled me aside afterwards, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's gonna say how good I did, and he was like, those shorts are a little short, we should go with longer pants next time. And I was like, okay, cool. But yeah, that was a day I felt pretty good about myself.
It was a moment that they really got to your self-consciousness, and you were like, cool, I thought it was going to be a compliment.
Yeah.
All
no,
right.
I definitely, no, whatever. It was just the best.
But-
I just felt successful at it right away, which I was lucky because I trained with it was a lot of high school kids and stuff there, so I was lucky that I kind of trained with a lot of beginners, so it was probably easier to get that feeling of success right away than I didn't have to go through as much ass kicking as a lot of new people get, I think. So yeah.
Okay, so where did that journey start with? You said it was happening, where was it located? Where were you training out of?
It was LA Boxing in Huntington Beach. Jamie Fletcher is the coach there still, but now it's a UFC gym. Okay. And so I was kind of had a mini Orange County hiatus. So I started training down there. And then when I moved back up to LA, I was at PKG, and that's where I've been for most of my jiu-jitsu career with Tahi Burns. And then recently switched over to Cobrinha, and that's been good too. So yeah, that's where I'm at now.
I mean, that's a pretty good program to be training under, one might say.
Yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying it.
So what is it? Okay, now I see Cobrinha always doing he's doing capoeira, and he's doing all these crazy intense cardio. Does that when that happens? What are your thoughts when you first saw how much cardio he was doing?
I mean, it's great. It totally kicks my ass, but when I have a workout that totally kicks my ass, I'm like, this is probably what I should be doing. So I mean, the really tough capoeira classes are okay, maybe counterproductive because then I don't train for the next half a week because I can't really walk. Sure. So I like the more medium intense ones. I prefer because then I can be back on the mat on Monday or Tuesday.
Can you put a request with him and be like, excuse me?
Can you do the medium intense? Yeah.
Mr. Cobrinha, can we do the medium heavy? I'm really more into that. Does he respond to that, or does he just go?
I would never. Yeah, I would never put in a request. I just mind my own business.
What is it that you feel that you get the most out of training over at Cobrinha's with?
Well, I was really struggling. I'm more good at top game passing and stuff like that, and I was struggling with passing just really technical guards, which that's the whole thing at Cobrinha. So I'm getting much better. I'm now my training partners are the people I was having a tough time against in competition. So it's really was the right place to fill in the gaps in my game, and also my guard game is coming up crazy since I started training there. So yeah, I definitely feel like I'm learning good skills to complement my tough top game. So yeah.
So now let's start talking about this. Now you're going to be competing at the Deep Waters Invitational. So my question that I ask people, and this is important, you're raising the roof, and that's good. I feel the energy from that. But why us? Why compete with us?
Oh, I was invited.
Does begin a good start. But you have your pick of going to compete at a number of different tournaments. Is there anything specific that maybe kind of speaks out to you, or is it just the thrill of competing everywhere?
Well, I think sub only is a really strong really good for my game, because that's kind of like the way I was raised in jiu-jitsu. So I have strong submission games, so I'm really excited about sub only. I also think the outdoor event is going to be really cool and exciting. I'm all about that. So cash.
Cash seems to be a favorite, so it's not like you're being all like greedy by being like, ooh, the cash happens to be there.
I'm not scared to get a little motivation, you know. I used to enter every cash prize tournament, like when I was a blue belt. I'd be like, well, it's whatever, it's open belts, but I could get lucky and win. Like, it's better than the lottery.
It's statistically more likely that will happen than the lottery. That is true.
So
now,
I love a cash prize. Very motivating.
Now, when you talk about this and you talk about the fact that you get the opportunity to compete, you said that's how you were raised, sub only, right?
Yeah.
So, like, it sounds like you were raised by like coaches and parents that were like, no child of mine will be a points player.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. And, you know, I'm not don't claim to be a wrestler, but I also just like to go for takedowns. I trained judo for a while, and that's kind of like came into my jiu-jitsu upbringing, was like no guard pulling, no points playing, no shady pushing people out of bounds weirdness, you know, just like
you're talking about that. Hey, listen, when it works, it works. Let's be very clear. We've all needed that ring out every once in a while where we're like, nope, could you please?
I guess no.
Well, that is great to hear. I love the fact that, you know, you bring a true passion to wanting to compete, and that's what we're looking for a lot of our competitors. So we're excited to have you join us. It's going to be August 12th. Now, here's the thing. I want you to be excited. I want you to convey that excitement, but I need for you to like really dig deep here, okay? Because I've been asking everybody this question, okay?
Okay.
Now take a second, get in your zone. My question that I am posing to you is, why should people come see you, and what can they expect on August 12th when you enter the Deep Waters Invitational?
Oh, me? Come see me. Oh gosh.
Right, I'm gonna take a second here. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna fluff, give some filler. She's intense. She will beat you. Now, you got something yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tough.
It works more effectively if you say I'm tough and you just go.
And then I'll do some stuff.
Let me see if I can fix this up real quick.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm intense.
Wow. This is getting increasingly more like I'm intense, I think. Let's say this. Okay. From what I know about you, I know this. I know that you like to compete.
Yeah.
I know that you like sub-only. I love the fact that you were raised only sub-only rules. Okay. And that you've got your no guard pulling. You've got this intensity to wanting to do and thrive in this environment. So that makes us excited.
I'm super competitive. Like I love, I do jiu-jitsu kind of to compete. So, because I just love getting out there and competing, and it's I don't know. It's really fun because
for somebody who takes credit as saying like they're not very they didn't get raised in the points area. Like the people at Cobrinhas are submission hunters, but they're also smart about playing in that points world. Like they do well, and look at Cobrinha. That guy brings so much intensity, and he is by many accounts older than the people who are competing, and yet looks younger than them in their jiu-jitsu.
Well, and I guess a lot in my past, it's when I made the joke about people doing out of bounds stuff, he will actually lecture us on how to deal with that. So instead of just being like, that's stupid when people do that, he'll actually confront an issue and talk about strategy to win, and that's it's a sport jiu-jitsu school. They win competitions, and I don't by any means think that it's they have a boring style at all. That would be crazy to say. So, but yeah, I'm not as good at guard, so I don't pull guard. but they're really good at it, so they do that. So.
Well, I gotta say this: you make things. You're so excited about it. It's contagious to me because I'm helping put it together, and now I'm like, ooh, I'm getting more excited too. Yeah. So now I'm starting to get to that point.
A lot of this, And then our heads, you know,
Yeah. Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm good at, like, I got a lot of good pictures of the head squish, you know, so that they can come watch that. You can come watch me squish heads with someone.
That's gonna make it into the highlight reel. I promise you that.
A good head squish.
Well, I want to ask this real quick. Who's helping you get ready for the tournament? Tell us right now. Who can we shout out for that?
Just my team, Cobrinha, and my homegirl, Karen Trans, helping me train, so that's rad. And I she's really rad. So I get to drop in at other gyms sometimes because people are cool, but Cobrinha's home.
I like that. And then, do you have any sponsors you want to take care of before we're done?
Defilasport.com. Just kidding. I have a line, so I'm gonna shout myself. Yeah.
You have a line?
Yeah, dude. That's what I was saying. I have. Yeah. No.
I know. I'm asking you on here.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Hi. Yeah, I have. It's mostly it's wrestling and jiu-jitsu stuff. So, yeah, it's mostly ladies. So at Defilasport, check it out. A lot of custom gear for MMA, pro wrestling, and jiu-jitsu, and other like wrestling too. Also, Sam Fagan Photography at Sam Fagan Photo, the man.
I didn't sanction any of that. We're going to charge him. You'll get an invoice for that, Sam. I want to say this, though. I think that's really awesome. If people want to go ahead and find that, they can go to
Defilasport.com, at Defilasport.
Excellent. And that's awesome. I love the fact it was just like wrestling, Greco-Roman wrestling, pro wrestling, any kind of wrestling. You can find it here, people.
All the wrestles. Grapple.
Well, I want to thank you so much for taking time to talk with us. It's always fun when we get those competitors who want to bring it. That's what we look for, and they just put their heart out and they compete. So that's what we're excited to see. So you guys can catch that. Now, I want to give you some directions. Here's how this works. She actually is somebody that if you go on our little website, you go to our Eventbrite page, if you drop down on the menu, you can pick her name, and when you drop down her name, she could make a little bit of money, but we want to make sure that we want to take care of our athletes. Are you hair flipping for making money? I guess that's a way to get people to do it. But we are excited to give them the opportunity to do that. So if you want to come support her in San Diego, go to our Eventbrite for the USSGL, do the drop down, go ahead and click, and then once you do that, we'll love to see you guys support her because we're excited to see you do some forehead smashing on somebody.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, on behalf of all of us at the USSGL, we want to say thank you very much, Isla. It was a pleasure getting to chat with you.
Thank you, guys. I'm very excited. See you in a couple weeks.
See you in a couple weeks. That sounds good. All right, guys. We'll see you there.
Good work out there, guys. That's the hardest I've worked yet in a competition class.
Guys, you know what would be insane? If someone made a tournament outside on the ocean. What? And what if it had like a party vibe? Like a DJ, some acai, maybe some cocktails? What?
It would have to be on the ocean by an aircraft carrier.
What? Eric, nobody would ever do that.
Of course they would.
No, they wouldn't. Nobody would ever make that kind of a tournament.
That is a pretty crazy idea.
I don't think so, man.
Eric, you have terrible ideas.